Alright, welcome back to another episode of Chip Theory. This is going to be a discussion of the E-flat Dorian scale mode and its associated chords for E-flat Dorian. You can see here I have the chips laid out in a pattern that is almost symmetrical. You can see we're starting with the E-flat here, and we have an octave E-flat here. So if you count the chips, you have 13 total chips or notes that represent keys on a piano keyboard. You have a black key, the blue chips, and the white chips are white keys on the piano. So here we have E flat, and like an E, F, a G flat, G, A flat, A, B flat, B, C, D flat, D, and back to your octave, the E flat. You can see now that there are 13 total chips if you're to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. And anytime you have a number of notes, that is, you have a series of intervals that is one less than your total number of notes. So to find the number of intervals between E flat and E flat, we simply take 13 chips or 13 notes and subtract 1 to reach 12 intervals. The notes themselves being like the posts of a fence, and the intervals being like the sections of the fence between them. So here, if we have the outer posts of our fence, we have the inner sections between these posts along, like a fence posts, and the intervals are like the span of horizontal fence between the posts. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 intervals or spans between our posts or our notes or our chips. So there are 12 intervals between 13 notes in an octave. To form our E-flat Dorian scale, we're going to use a pattern of whole steps and half steps that is symmetrical, and that it has a whole step on either end, like this, two half steps on this side, and 2 half steps on this side, followed by 1 half step on either side, like this, and followed by 3 tones between them, like this. So now you can see our E-flat Dorian pattern: 1 whole step, 1 half step, a whole step, a whole step, a whole step, a half step, and a whole step. When I said that was symmetrical, I mean it's the same pattern going down as it is going up. So we have a whole step, a half step, a whole step, a whole step, a whole step, a half step, and a whole step coming in the downward direction as well. We can then remove the other notes from our Dorian scale, which leaves us the notes E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, D flat, and our octave E flat. Coming down is E flat, D flat, C, B flat, A flat, G flat, F, and E flat. Realizing this, we have the 7 notes of our E-flat Dorian scale. We can also determine that the E-flat Dorian scale, being the second mode of major, is going to be the second degree of a D flat major scale. So if we take the in D flat and move it here, we have D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, and D flat, which was our Ionian mode. And we're simply starting that scale from the second mode, or the E flat note, to form E flat Dorian. Another good way to look at this is the E flat major scale with a flatted third and a flatted seventh degree. So we're taking E flat major and taking our G and flatting the third degree, the G to G flat, and our seventh degree, the D, and lowering it as well to D flat. To form E flat Dorian. Realizing that our scale, we have triads based on this scale. E flat Dorian, the first triad is going to be E flat, G flat, and B flat. As you can see, they're simply alternating degrees of the scale. So we have this note, we skip this one, we choose this note, and we skip one and choose this note to give us our triad, our first chord. In this case, it's E flat, G flat, and B flat, which is minor, the first degree. If we then do the second degree and do the same thing starting on the second note to give us our second triad, we have F, A flat, and C, which is also minor. And we repeat the process on each note of the major scale of the 7 tones. There's G flat, B flat, and D flat, which is major, or 4-3. From the 4th degree, A flat, C. Now we don't have an E flat here, so we'll just say this E flat right here, because it's still in our scale. A flat, C, and E flat, which is also major. From the 5th tone, we have B flat, D flat, and F, which is minor. Sixth note is C, E flat, and G flat, which is diminished. And from the 7th degree, D flat, F, and A flat, which is major. Now, realizing that, we can also determine the extension of a 7th chord by simply adding one more third on top of our triad. So we're going to add this note, or a 4th tone, alternating from the scale to our chords to form 7th chords. So again, the 1st degree, it was E flat, G flat, B flat, and D flat. It's a minor 7, or 3-4-3 spacing. E flat minor 7. Our 2nd degree is F, A flat, C, and E flat. F, A flat, C, and E flat, which is minor 7. Our 3rd degree is G flat, B flat, D flat, and F, which is a major 7, or a 4-3-4 spacing. We have A flat, C, E flat, and G flat, which is a dominant 7 chord. Again, in Dorian mode, our dominant 7 falls on the 4th degree of the scale. So the dominant 7 chord will also be in the 4th position chord. Again, the 3rd is major and 1 and 2 are minor. So here's a dominant 7 for Dorian on the 4th degree, a 4-3-3 spacing. Again, our dominant 7 chord on the 3 spacing. We know that 1 plus 2 is 3, which occurs between the first 3, and 2 plus 1 happens between the second third for the scale. So 4, 1 plus 2 is 3, and 2 plus 1 is 3. 4, 3, 3. Our 5 chord is going to be a minor 7, B flat, D flat, F, and A flat. B flat minor 7, 3, 4, 3. The 6th degree is going to be C, E flat, G flat, and B flat, which is going to wind up being half diminished. C, E flat, G flat, B flat. Half diminished is a 3-3-4 spacing. Root position. In the 7th degree was our relative major 7, D flat, F, A flat, and C, or a 4-3-4 spacing. D flat, F, A flat, C. Now we've determined the diatonic 7th chords of E flat Dorian. We can talk about the inversions of these chords. And for the Dorian mode, these are going to share the same quality and the same kind of chords that are in the Ionian mode, only they're shifted in position one from to the left. So our 1 chord is here, our 2 was here, our 3rd chord in Ionian majors here, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, back to 1. But in Dorian, we're shifted around where this is our 1 chord, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So again, the qualities were minor 7, major 7, flat 3, major 7, 4 dominant 7, 5, minor 7, 6 half diminished, and 7, major 7, flat 7, major 7. So starting with our 1 chord, we're just going to say the names of the notes with the inversions and the relative spacing between these notes. We have an E flat major 7, E flat, G flat, B flat, and D flat. It's important to remember for the scale between these minor thirds that the interval is 2 plus 1 on this particular minor 7 chord, so that when you go from E flat to G flat, in the scale you would play E flat to F, which is 2 half steps, and from F to G flat is 1 half step. So to get from E flat to G flat is a 2 plus 1 for the minor third here. Also, this one from B flat to D flat is also a 2 plus 1, and that B flat to C is 2, and C to D flat is 1, so I call that a 2 plus 1. So E, G, B flat, D flat is 3, 4, 3, 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1. We take our inversion, the minor 7, gives us a 4-3-2 spacing, first inversion, starting on G flat. We have G flat, B flat, D flat, and E flat. For our second inversion, we're a 3-2-3 spacing, starting on D flat. Starting on B flat. B flat, the 5th to the 7th. D flat is three half steps. D flat to E flat is 2, and E flat to G flat is 3. 3-2-3. And again, finally, the third inversion is 2-3-4. D flat, E flat, G flat, and B flat. Coming down is B flat, G flat, E flat, D flat. Third, G flat, E flat, D flat, B flat. The root, E flat, D flat, B flat, G flat. And the 7th, D flat, B flat, G flat, and E flat for our E flat minor 7, 3-4-3. Our second position of E flat Dorian was F minor 7. This is also a 3-4-3 spacing. However, between the 3s of this particular minor 7, which would be the 2 chord of major, the 3 chord of the Ionian mode. It's on the 2 position in Dorian. The 3s here are spaced 1 plus 2, because F to A flat, you have a G flat. So F to G flat is 1, and G flat to A flat is 2. So you have a 1 plus 2 here. The same for this one. C to E flat is 1 plus 2. C to D flat is 1, and D flat to E flat is 2. So 1 plus 2 on these 3s. It was 2 plus 1s on this one. This one is opposite 1 plus 2s. F, A flat, C, and E flat. 3-4-3. Taking our F up, we have a 4-3-2 inversion starting on A flat, C, E flat, F. Second inversion, 3-2-3 starting on C, E flat, F, A flat. And for our third inversion, we have a 2-3-4 spacing starting on E flat, F, A flat, and C. Coming down is C, A flat, F, E flat, A flat, F, E flat, C, F, E flat, C, A flat, and E flat, C, A flat, F. Our third position chord is a major 7, which has a different quality from these two. It's going to be a 4-3-4 spacing, given that the 3 in the middle here has a 2 plus 1. So between B flat and D flat, you have B flat to C is 2, and C to D flat is 1, 2 plus 1. For the G flat major 7, G flat, B flat, D flat, and F, 4-3-4. Bringing our G flat up, we have a 3-4-1 spacing, starting on B flat. B flat to D flat is 3, D flat to F, and F to G flat. Our second inversion, major 7 chord, is a 4-1-4, starting on D flat, F, G flat, B flat. The third inversion, 1-4-3 spacing, F, G flat, B flat, and D flat. Coming down is D flat, B flat, G flat, F, B flat, G flat, F, D flat, G flat, F, D flat, B flat, and F, D flat, B flat, G flat. The fourth position is an A flat dominant 7. It's a 4-3-3 spacing. Again, we have a 1 plus 2 and a 2 plus 1 for our 3s. So this has one of either. 1 plus 2 in the middle and 2 plus 1 for the top minor third. A flat, C, E flat, G flat. Bring our A flat up to the top, leaves us a 3-3-2 for dominant 7s, inversion, C, E flat, G flat, A flat. To a 3-2-4 spacing, starting on E flat, G flat, A flat, C. To a 2-4-3 inversion, starting on G flat, A flat, C, and E flat. Coming down is E flat, C, A flat, and G flat. C, A flat, G flat, E flat, A flat, G flat, E flat, C, and G flat, E flat, C, A flat for A flat dominant 7, 4-3-3. The fifth position chord is B flat minor 7, a 3-4-3. This also differs from both of these chords. You had 2 plus 1s, 1 plus 2s, and this kind of mixes it up. It has a 2 plus 1 on the bottom 3 and a 1 plus 2 on the top 3. A B flat to D flat is a 2 plus 1, B flat to C, and C to D flat. And from F to A flat is F to G flat is 1, and G flat to A flat is 2, 1 plus 2. So it's a 3-4-3, B flat minor 7. Here's a 4-3-2, starting on D flat, F, A flat, B flat. The 3-2-3 inversion, starting on F, A flat, B flat, D flat. To our 2-3-4 inversion, starting on A flat, B flat, D flat, F. Coming down, F, D flat, B flat, A flat, D flat, B flat, A flat, F, B flat, A flat, F, D flat, and A flat, F, D flat, B flat. Our sixth position chord is a half diminished, or C minor 7 with a flat 5, or a G flat in this position here. It's a 3-3-4 spacing, meaning that you have a major third between these two pitches here. And here, between the two minor thirds, you have a spacing of 1 plus 2 and 2 plus 1. 1 plus 2, 2 plus 1, and 2 plus 2, or 3-3-4. Starting on C, we have 3-3-4, C, E flat, G flat, B flat, to a 3-4-2 inversion, starting on E flat, G flat, B flat, and C, to 4-2-3 for half diminished chords, starting on G flat, B flat, C, E flat, to the 2-3-3, starting on B flat, C, E flat, and G flat. Coming down is G flat, E flat, C, B flat, third E flat, C, B flat, G flat, the root C, B flat, G flat, E flat in the root position for the 7th at the top, B flat, G flat, E flat, C. And lastly, we have a D flat major 7 in root position, 4, 3, 4. Our 3 here has a 1 plus 2 as its interval between F and A flat. F to G flat is 1, and G flat to A flat is 2 with respect to our scale. We have a 4, 3, 4. E flat, F, A flat, C. 3, 4, 1. F, A flat, C, D flat. To a 4, 1, 4. A flat, C, D flat, F. To our 1, 4, 3. C, D flat, F, A flat. Coming down as A flat, F, D flat, C. F, D flat, C, A flat. D flat, C, A flat, F. And C, A flat, F, D flat. Once again, this is E flat Dorian. Your 1 chord here would again appear as the next chord in a sequence if you were to go above the octave. It's an E flat minor 7, F minor 7, G flat major 7, A flat dominant, B flat minor 7, C minor 7 flat 5, and a D flat major 7. And those are the 7th chords of E flat Dorian.